Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is day 30 of 30 days of power. 30 days of power. We made it 30 days Facebook Live. The power of you. Good morning, Mr. Jordan. How are you? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Good morning, sis. Good morning, Bianca. Good morning. What are y'all doing up this early on a Saturday morning? Why are y'all up? Yes, day 30. Oh my God. I can't believe it. But God is, he's good that way, right? Happy Saturday. I am glad about Saturday. Just the weekend kind of gets to unplug a little bit. So I'm excited about that. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Gabo. I am going to text you when I get done. Good morning, Viola. Yes, I'm a little petty. Yes, everybody, I am a little bit petty. I'm not going to tell you the level of my pettiness, but I am a little petty. Good morning. Good morning. We're at day 30, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good morning, Viola. Go ahead and get started. I want to talk about the power of now. The power of now. Good morning, Emily. I do appreciate your message on my timeline. Thank you so much. Good morning. So day 30, the power of now. And I really want to just talk to you guys a little bit about this journey for these last 30 days and what you can really learn from, because I learned a whole bunch during these 30 days, right? And so we're about I think about 92 days. Right. Thank you, Bianca. I think about 92 days in regards to the end of the year. And so the fourth quarter is approaching. 2018 will be here before we know it. And I just really want to encourage you guys in regards to your now. What is God telling you to do now? What is your next move? What is the next step? What is the thing that'll help you get closer and pushing your 2018 with victory, right? You know, a lot of times we set goals in the beginning of the year, and, you know, probably about February, we kind of dwell off and we kind of do different things and we forget about it. We slack off. And so I want to talk about that. And I also want to just talk about the things that God tells us to do now. Sometimes we're looking for the next move, the next step from him. And he's like, you haven't even done what I told you to do now, right? And so in regards to these 30 days, you know, the last few days of August, God, you know, told me to go live. And I was like, why? Because my writing coach for my book, she's been really trying to get me to go live for quite some time. And I would just never do it. I just was like, no, I'd rather just, you know, let people know, you know, via text, via, you know, my post, you know, what God has really placed in my heart. And so when he said do 30 days of power, I'm like, And it was interesting because September was coming and September had 30 days. And I was like, really, God? And I was like, well, what am I going to talk about? And, you know, the book is coming out, The Power of You, next month. And so I'm excited about that. My first solo project in regards to writing a book. And so he had really given me different topics in regards to our power. And so he really amazed me in regards to the different topics that he actually brought to me. You know, the first couple of days, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you have the things that he said, you know, you kind of go by it. But then as time went, he really just dealt with me, different things that I was dealing with and different things that he kind of helped me through, which he allowed me to give it to you. And so that's kind of the same thing I do on my Facebook posts. When I post, it's typically something God has for me, and you guys are just the, you know, receive the benefit of it. But he's really talking to me. So I appreciate that. But yeah, these 30 days have been scary, you know, and I think about the reason why I didn't want to do Facebook Lives is because I hate speaking in front of people. That's the first thing. I'm like, God, I don't want to do that. No, that's like one of my fears. Like, I hate speaking to people. And so first thing was fear. And I thought about like Moses, you know, when God told Moses to go back to Egypt, he had a lot of excuses, right? He was like, God, I can't talk. I can't talk to the people. And God began to just say, hey, you know, it's not you that's talking, it's me. So I want you to really think about, what is God telling you to do now that you have not done, that you have been afraid to do, that you have been procrastinating to do, whatever part of that of your life that you have been stuck and stagnant and making excuses for. That's what I want you to really think about for today as regards to what now, right? And so me doing the Facebook Live, I got it, right? I got on. So day one, I'm like, okay, I didn't know what to expect. But here's the thing. 5:45, and I want to talk about that next too in regards to sacrifice. Many of my close friends know that I had a part-time job that actually is I'm finishing today, and so it requires me to get up about 1:30 in the morning every day. Yep, 1:30 in the morning every day. And so I would get up and I would do what I need to do, and then I would stay woke, so that way I can prepare for Facebook Live. So then I would get on here at 5:45, you know, I may lay down a little bit, and then I'm doing my 9 to 5, right? And so, you know, really, when you say yes to God in regards to what he has for you to do now, it requires some level of sacrifice, right? Some level of sacrifice. So your sacrifice may be different from mine, but it may be your time. It may be your energy. It may be, if you want to lose weight, going to the gym, or if you wanted to get out of debt, it means, you know, not shopping and not spending money on this and the third, because sacrifice is really, it's kind of you putting skin in the game, right? It's kind of like you saying, okay, I'm all in, right? And if you don't really sacrifice for something that you say you want in the direction you're going, you haven't really invested in that thing, right? You have to become invested in what you said you wanted to do, what God has told you to do. What are you doing to say, God, I'm sacrificing so that I'm able to do what you call me to do, right? Because it's going to come with some level of sacrifice, something you're going to have to give up so you can go up, right? What is your level of sacrifice? What will you give up so that God can take you to your next level, moving in the right direction, right? And so also doing these 30 days of me providing different words, different messages, it came with a level of testing, right? I have been attacked in every area, right? My body, I got sick, and, you know, financially and socially, in different areas. It's just like it was a major, major attack, right? And so when you're an encourager and you're encouraging people, sometimes people think that you're good, right? Like nothing's going on, like it's a perfect world, like, you know, it's just so much, you know, that you just, oh my God, you're just on such a level, when really, you know, God is allowing you to get the word for you, and then in result, you know, you're still sacrificing on some levels to actually deliver it. Because sometimes when you're discouraged, you just want to crawl under the bed and, you know, say, I quit, like it's over, I'm not doing it, like for what? So when I think about that, and I think for as an encourager, even when I'm discouraged, I can encourage, is because, you know, I think I've told it before, but I had a cousin who reached out to me one time. You know, those of you who don't know, I do daily text messages as well. I send out daily text messages to people, encouraging them every morning. And so when I do that, one day I was in my feelings and I had a situation going on myself, and I said, God, I can't encourage anyone. No, I'm not sending the message. And I argued with God, like, no, but you know, God wins anyway, right? And so God allowed me to give the message. And then moments later, my cousin called me and said, hey, cuz, you know, thank you for sending the message, because I was about to commit suicide, right? And so she's my inspiration every time I say what I ain't going to do when it comes to encouraging people, because I understand that the word of God has power. And if I'm the vessel to save somebody else's life in whatever area that is, then I have to be willing to show up regardless, right? And so, you know, during this time of testing, I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't know what's going to happen, how it's going to turn out. But God, you know, helped me through it. He helped me to encourage even when I was discouraged, even when I had a whole bunch going on. He allowed me to still show up. And so I'm grateful to God for just a push and a determination just to keep showing up, right? You know, showing up when things are not so pretty, because I'm letting the enemy know that you ain't gonna win. I must be close. Something must about to happen because you're attacking me, right? And so the next thing in regards to that is God sent help. Many people sent me encouraging messages. Like some days when I was sick and I wasn't able to really show up the way I wanted to, I would get inboxes. And the crazy thing about it is, it was people that I didn't even know was watching. And I was like, okay, God, really? All right, you know, and I accepted it because I needed it to go forth, right? And it also encouraged me to let me know that my voice matters, right? That I have something to say, right? That somebody needs to hear what I have to say. And so I was like, okay, God, it was like another push. And sometimes when you're on your journey, and sometimes when you're saying yes to God, God will send you encouragement to let you know you're on the right path, to let you know you're doing the right thing. And so don't get weary when, you know, the storms of life come, because I think about sometimes when you're driving, you ever drove somewhere? I think I've done it when I was going down south. Sometimes when you're driving in a storm and it seems like it's the storm, it's just raining. It's like everything is happening. It's getting dark. You can't see. Nothing's going right. You're just like, we should just pull over. But then when you just keep going and you keep going, all of a sudden the clouds, you know, let up and the sun comes out and it stops raining, right? And it's the same thing in our lives. Sometimes the storm seems so unbearable. It seems like we can't make it. We can't go forth. But then as we keep going, as we keep pushing, God allows the clouds to let up, right? He allows the sun to shine. He allows